Welcome aboard, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden, good to be back in the saddle. Hope you all had a productive weekend. I sure did. We blew the roof off of the Hoosier Jamboree this last weekend in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Over 150 people attended. Dr. Wallach was there. I was there. Marvin Ropp was there, giving his agricultural presentation, plus some other enlightening news about the relationship between culture and pharmaceutical industry. So I'm going to try to have Marvin on here, hopefully on this Thursday for Metaphysical Thursday, so he can tell us his interpretation of what pharmacy means to people of faith, extracted directly from the Old and the New Testament. Interesting stuff. Remember, we don't hold ourselves out as this is a non-secular show, right? We don't we believe, of course, in the spiritual reality which inhabits and informs every human being, but we don't espouse any particular religious discipline. We don't, because this is a health talk, holistic health talk radio program. However, because it's holistic, we must therefore appreciate, understand, and respect the existence of the spiritual force as it inhabits the human body, and therefore respect all different religions around the world as they attempt to navigate these spiritual territories. We're going to have Marvin Ropp on here, hopefully this Thursday, to tell us his understanding of what pharmacy means. Fascinating stuff. Lots of people came up to me in Fort Wayne with personal testimonials and personal thank yous. I found that very rewarding, quite frankly, because, you forget. I talked to so many people over the course of so many weeks and so many months and so many years that I forget what advice I told to somebody whenever I told it to them. And as it turns out, a lot of the advice that I've been disseminating has been very helpful. Got a lot of nice pats on the back, people that are just, their lives were changed through medical nutrition, and I'm encouraging them all to call in and tell the world their story. In any event, we had a great time. It was a good turnout, and we're experimenting with new technology here at Dr. Glidden, the drglidden.show.tv. We have a real high-tech camera, super high definition. So if you're listening on the radio waves and you would like to watch the live video stream, please go to the drglidden.show.tv, the drglidden.show.tv, where you can tune in and turn on to the live video stream. Now, I gave a lecture last Thursday night for insiders, Dr. Glidden Insiders and their guests exclusively, for Dr. Glidden Insiders and their guests exclusively. It was an hour and 5-minute long expose on epigenetics. And epigenetics is the newest field of scientific inquiry, which the founder of Youngevity, Dr. Joel Wallach, my mentor, colleague, and friend, had the unique experience of being one of the founders of this whole field of health research. Epigenetics is the study of how the stress of life, nutrient deficiencies, pollution, ionizing radiation, antioxidant activity, how the stress of life impacts your genetic material and therefore your health. It was a really good lecture. It was really well attended. I think there were 160 people watching the live event. I think 2,000 or 3,000 have watched it. It's been shared since last Thursday night. And I'd like to just go over a couple of the more salient points about this lecture, because there is misinformation abundantly present in the world, which we are attempting all of the time to get on the other side of, and to help people, just kind of understand, hey, it's not this, it's this. Right? 2 plus 2 does not equal 5, it equals 4. And once you figure out that it equals 4, everything changes. So let's talk about the BRCA gene. And if you're watching the live video stream, I'm going to pull up the slides that a couple of the slides that were in my presentation for last Thursday night. And by the way, if you missed last Thursday's presentation and you want to watch the whole thing from start to finish, go to drglidden.com. Click on the link to become an insider. And as an insider, you will enjoy immediate access to over 200 hours of health webinars that are in my archives, the latest addition to which was the webinar that I produced last week on epigenetics. It's there for the watching, exclusively for insiders and their guests. Check it out, drglidden.com. Click on the link to become an insider. So, here we go. We're going to pull up the slides and take a look at it. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening again through the live radio stream on a terrestrial radio station, and you want to watch the video feed, go to thedrgliddenshow.tv. That's thedrgliddenshow.tv. Now, people will tell you, they told Angelina Jolie, and they will tell everybody in the world that the BRCA gene is the cause of cancer, and that if you test positive for the BRCA gene, you need to have your breast cut off preemptively, you need to have preventive medicine done, and when MDs talk about prevention, they talk about cutting and burning and drugging, and so they have convinced tens of thousands, if not more, of people to undergo double mastectomies, whether you're a man or a woman, if you test positive for the BRCA gene. But they forget to tell them that the BRCA gene is not a gene. The BRCA gene is not a gene. What's that, you say, Dr. Glidden? It's not a gene. Well, what the heck is it? Haven't the breast cancer people been telling me all the time that this is a gene and that I can inherit it and that, oh my God, I'm going to die if I have it? Well, knowledge is power. Let's take a look. It may interest you to know that the BRCA1 and the BRCA2 gene, by the way, BRCA is a bad acronym. It is a bad acronym for the gene which geneticists labeled the BRCA gene. And there are two of them, BRCA1 and BRCA2. Somebody in the media started calling it BRCA, and it caught on, and even though it's bad English, this is what we call it, the BRCA gene. The BRCA1 and the BRCA2 genes are normally expressed in the cells of the breast. These are normal, healthy gene expressions, where they help to repair damaged DNA or destroy the cells if the DNA cannot be repaired. These genes are involved in the repair of chromosomal damage and very important in the role of error-free repair of DNA strands. So your genetic material, your DNA, expresses itself all of the time. Makes another breast cell, makes another eye cell, makes another bone cell, makes whatever. That's what your genes do, in part. They do a lot of things, but this is one of the major things that they do, is they stimulate or they're the blueprints for the production of new tissue in the body, right? So the BRCA1 and the BRCA2 genes are normal, healthy genes in the human body, without which you would die slowly and horribly, because your breasts would not, your cells in your breast, whether you're a man or a woman, would not be able to repair themselves and keep themselves up. I mean, can you imagine what your automobile would be like if you never tuned it up? Never tuned it up, ever tuned it up, never tuned it up. You know, it would start to fall apart quickly. Well, your body would too if it doesn't have self-repair mechanisms, and the self-repair mechanisms, two of them anyway, in breast tissue, man or woman, are BRCA1 and BRCA2, BRCA1 and BRCA2. Interesting, isn't it? If BRCA1 or BRCA2 become damaged by a mutation, the damaged DNA is not repaired properly, and this increases the risk for breast cancer. The BRCA gene related to breast cancer, is not a gene. It is a mutation of a healthy gene, but your medical doctor will never tell you this. It's not a gene, it's a mutation of a gene. Now, the BRCA1 and the BRCA2 genes themselves, we already know, are involved with the repair of cellular tissue. They're involved with the repair of damaged genetic material. So we know that the body can repair damaged genetic material. That's what the BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes do. In their healthy state, they repair damaged DNA. Now you have a mutated, damaged gene which has damaged DNA in it. So one would assume, therefore, that the body must have a mechanism either not to become mutated in the first place or perhaps to repair itself. But medical doctors do not go there. They do not think this through. And all of the research that's being generated now is to have more efficient, less expensive testing for the mutation so that more and more people can go under the knife to have radical mastectomies, because that's where all the money is. Again, one of life's greatest ironies, that the gene concerned with breast cancer predominance is not a gene, it's a mutation of a gene, and it's a mutation of a gene, the job of which is to repair damaged DNA. So you would think that medical science would want to investigate what causes the mutation to happen in the first place, and or what can you do to help the body fix the mutation that's there, because we already know that the body does that. But they don't go there. They don't do that because, again, the MDs are not concerned with how to cure cancer. They're not. They're concerned with how to manage it. I know that they'll tell you that they're raising money to find a cure, but they are not. Are you kidding me? After $1 trillion nearly of research on breast cancer, we're no closer to a cure than we were 40, 50 years ago. It is unbelievable to me that this type of nonsense goes on in an academic circle. And, you know, we don't have a free medical market. We don't have open academics anymore. It's all pharmaceutical centrist, pharma money, big pharma money, reductionistic research. They're not concerned with how to fix it. They're concerned with how to manage it. And they dish out misinformation all of the time. Well, guess what? There's a new sheriff in town, Dr. Peter Glidden. Welcome to the new frontier. Science-based, clinically verified, sophisticated, smart, and effective medical nutrition. Stick around. Steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Check out the live video stream, the drgliddenshow.tv. And for goodness sake, become an insider, get information, get access to information that literally can and does all of the time save lives. You don't have a bad gene, you have a bad doctor. The BRCA gene is not a gene, it's a mutation of a gene. And medical science is not concerned with what causes the mutation. Quite frankly, medical science doesn't even know for sure that you have inherited this gene. I mean, it may be entirely possible that the BRCA gene that's in your mother's egg and the BRCA gene that's in your father's sperm, they're both there, are normal and healthy. And that as the baby, as you are developing in utero, as you were developing in utero, nutrient deficiencies made the genes mutate. Or the genes didn't mutate until you were 9 or 10 years old. They haven't figured that out yet. But they tell you, oh, that you've inherited it. And they haven't proven that, in fact, you have inherited it. But, you know, in medical world, Machiavellian, intellectually cowardly medical land, it becomes reality by consensus. And once 10 doctors say it, well, that's the way that it is. I mean, for goodness sake, years ago the MDs told us, oh, no, microbes don't exist, and if you wash your hands, that's medical heresy, and you should be thrown out of medical science for making the ridiculous assumption that there are these tiny particles that we can't even see that are causing disease. Oh, no, you can't be a doctor if you say that. You're out of here. Then they told us, well, to make yourself better, you have to swallow large amounts of mercury and calomel and purge yourself. And then they told you you have to cut your arteries open and bleed out the bad humors from the body. Then they told us, well, you know what, we were wrong. Microbes really are real, but the only way you can deal with them is man-made antibiotics, sold to you at a profit. And the delivery of man-made antibiotics as an exclusive de facto treatment for bacterial diseases has become the unbelievable explosion of antibiotic-resistant germ infections, bacterial infections. This is the next plague. Antibiotic-resistant bacterial infections. It is a big, bad voodoo daddy brought to you by your MD. Then they told us everything's genetic. Then they switched, and now they're saying, no, it's epigenetic. But again, they're not concerned with what causes it. They are not rational thinkers. They're not. They think inside of the box of which they were taught. They're never going to go outside of it, because if they go outside of it, they open themselves up for lawsuits, and they open themselves up to be excommunicated from their own medical profession, and they are not going to do that. The last person you want to bring your body to, if you're suffering with cancer, if you're suffering from a chronic disease, if you're suffering from anything other than trauma or surgery, which is absolutely necessary, is an MD. Because they have nothing for you besides snake oil. By the way, the only people that are disseminating snake oil in the world have MD after their name. Now, they'll tell you it's the chiropractors, they'll tell you it's the homeopaths, they'll tell you it's everybody but them, but in point of fact, the leading cause of death in the United States, MD-directed medical treatments. Vioxx killed 500,000 people, and that was snake oil. Premarin, snake oil, supposed to treat. Premarin was a man-made synthetic hormone made from 2 parts horse hormone, 1 part human hormone. Oh yeah, nothing can go wrong with that. Supposed to treat a non-disease. It was given to hundreds of thousands, if not millions, probably millions by now, of women for a non-medical condition, hot flushes of menopause, mood swings of menopause, menopausal symptoms. It's a non-medical condition. And Premarin, only 3 problems with Premarin: breast cancer, uterine cancer, and deep vein thrombosis, thrombophlebitis. Thousands of women were given cancer because they were given Premarin, which is snake oil. It's supposed to help you with this, but instead it hurts you over here, and it's expensive. That's snake oil. The only people selling snake oil have MD after their name. We need to just, all of us, we need to just lift our heads out of the sand, wake up, look around, get a clue, and remember, again, thank God for Novocaine, right? Thank God for penicillin. Thank God for the sterile technique most of the time. The MDs have their place in the world, and their place in the world is trauma care, surgery when it's necessary. They do great things with surgery. They really do. But like the fella said, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So even if you don't need surgery, the surgeon's going to tell you to get surgeried. And so we go, following the advice of the conventional medical doctor, into the land of bankruptcy, suffering, and death. And then our relatives are so grief-stricken at our passing that they do a 5K run to raise more money. And who do they give it to? The same people that failed them, the same people that bankrupted them, and the same people that killed their relatives. Snap out of it. I am the red pill. This is Dr. Glidden. Back, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness sake. Right? I mean, just stop it. Stop going to your MD, because what do they have? Pain and suffering, pain and suffering, pain and suffering. Therapeutics built on the shifting sands of reductionism, which change every 3 months. Oh, first your cholesterol should be this, now it should be this. First your blood pressure should be this, now it should be this. You got the brachygene, you need to have your breasts cut off preemptively. You got to be kidding me. You need chemotherapy. Even though it doesn't work. Chemotherapy was proven to be 97% ineffective. It doesn't work. The MDs have even given up trying to even convince the world that they're up for a cure. Right? Now they have a 5-year recovery. Well, if you have a mainstream cancer intervention and you're still alive 5 years from now, that's considered a positive intervention. Even though your personality goes to the crapper, your immune system goes to the crapper, the quality of your life goes to the crapper, but they kept you alive for 5 years. It goes in the books as a successful treatment. You've got to be kidding me. Fire your medical doctors, ladies and gentlemen, and step into the light of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. If you're listening on a terrestrial radio station and you like our message and you want to learn more, you want to learn how to get the products at the wholesale price, you want to learn more about what we're doing, listen on the commercial breaks, during the commercial breaks, on your terrestrial radio station, and call the number that your radio station gives out for information about longevity. There is somebody in your town standing by right now to take your phone call and give you information about how you can increase your body's ability to optimize its structure and function with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, and/or information about the business opportunity brought forth by longevity, which is awesome. If you found me all by yourself, then please go to my website, drglidden.com. That's drglidden.com, or call 844-357-3696. That's 844-347-3696. And if someone invited you here, a friend invited you here, or pointed you here, or even if it was a total stranger, and they gave you information about how to listen to this radio program and you want to learn more, get with them, because undoubtedly they are an independent longevity business owner, and their job is to usher you into the light of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. This is one team all around the world made up of thousands of independent distributors, and we support that cause through and through. Let's go to Georgia and talk to Ruth about my least favorite relative, arthritis. Hey, Ruth, welcome aboard. You are live.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you today about gout and osteoarthritis.
Yeah, gout and osteoarthritis?
Mm-hmm.
Well, from our position, those are both pretty painful, right? Gout, from our position, is a problem with the liver. And gout can also be related to chronic nutrient deficiencies, which cause low-level inflammation all of the time, which then kind of snowballs on itself into a strong and persistent symptom. Anybody that is suffering with gout needs to research which foods are high in purines, P-U-R-I-N-E-S. They need to research which foods are high in purines. And in addition to the 10 bad foods, they need to stop eating the foods that are high in purines, because purines can aggravate a gouty condition. The fancy schmancy doctor talked for that as a gouty diathesis. But purines can aggravate a flare-up of an underlying gouty condition. So they need to stop eating the 10 bad foods and eliminate foods that are rich in purines. P like Peter, U-R-I-N like Nancy, E-S. Now, to support and promote the structure and function of somebody's body who's suffering from gout, the recommendation is eliminate the 10 bad foods, eliminate purines, and do one Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. One Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, one of those. One bottle of plant-derived minerals. One bottle of Cell Shield RTQ. And 2 bottles of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. I'll read you that list again. One Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. One Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. 2 bottles of selenium. 1 bottle of Cell Shield RTQ. 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals. And 2 selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Now, we do more or less the same thing for arthritis. With an arthritic condition, we recommend bone and joint support. Well, the bones need calcium and magnesium and a number of other minerals, but in addition to the minerals that the bones need to maintain their optimal structure and function, the body needs 90 essential nutrients, and the bones are connected to, everything is connected in the human body. So everybody gets the appropriate healthy pack with a couple of extra add-ons by way of holistic medical nutrition for the masses, the intention of which is for us to paint with a broad brush here and really give people everything that their bodies need to get on the other side of it. So the recommendation there would be the Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, one of those. Two selenium.
Okay.
1 plant-derived minerals.
Okay.
Per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And then 1 bottle per month of Cal Toddy. C-A-L-T like Thomas, O-D-D-Y. Now, of course, they need to eliminate the 10 bad foods also, and anybody that's dealing with a bone or a joint problem needs to, in addition to eliminating the 10 bad foods, they really need to stay a long way away from soda pop, because soda pop undoubtedly has a chemical in it called phosphoric acid, and if you drink too much soda pop, the phosphoric acid will leach minerals out of your bones, making your bones weaker. So if you're dealing with any type of a bone or a joint issue, you must stay away from soda pop in addition to the 10 bad foods.
This is a very healthy eater.
Well, all right. Or that's great. And so, from our point of view, however, our understanding of what's healthy and what's not is correct, but it is not what most people think. Because, my people are destroyed by lack of knowledge, and there are 10 foods that most people eat regularly that most people would think are healthy that we advise are not healthy. And people can get that list, of course, on my website for free, drglidden.com. If she's already down with dietary disciplines, then if she eliminates these foods as well, it's going to be easy breezy lemon squeezy for her, and it's really going to help a tremendous amount. So go to my website, download that list. It is free. And keep up the good work in Georgia, Ruth. We appreciate you. Don in Pennsylvania is up next. Hey, Don, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hey, Doc. Calling about my father, 66 years old, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, aches and pain. Not sure where to start. I know we do the blood sugar pack, but they've got him on, blood pressure meds, statin meds, diabetes drug, beta blocker, Lasix, amlodipine, Plavix, naproxen, and a stomach acid pill.
Yeah, snake oil. So, what I would do, Don, because, look, parents are amongst the hardest people to introduce and to enroll into the holistic medical approach because, they're not going to listen to you. My parents, God rest their souls, they didn't listen to me. They didn't listen to me. And if they're not going to listen to me, I doubt very much that your parents are going to listen to you. So the best thing to do whenever we are interfacing with anybody, especially if it's our parents, is to let Dr. Wallach do the talking, right? So I would have your father listen to the Best of Dead Doctors Don't Lie, or let me do the talking. Send your father one of the webinars that I did. Get one of my DVDs and have him just play it and watch it. Or you can send him a webinar if you're an insider. He can watch it on his computer, one of the webinars that I did. I've done hundreds of webinars on many different health conditions. And maybe if he hears it from the other medical professional, that will make him interested to give it a try, right? So the first thing that I would do here, if you can encourage him to, give the stuff a try, would be stop the 10 bad foods. That's really of massive importance here. Do the Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, one of those, 1 plant-derived minerals, 2 bottles of selenium, and 1 bottle of Sweeties per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And then give him 4, 5, 6 boxes of Triple Treat chocolate a month. That, nothing else will make him smile. But he needs lots and lots and lots of antioxidants. Lots and lots and lots of antioxidants. And the Triple Treat chocolate has the highest antioxidant point per piece or per supplement of any longevity supplement, and that's where I would go there. But, we got to start somewhere. And if he doesn't want to do a gosh darn thing, then my recommendation would be give him 1 bottle of the Beyond Osteo FX. Have him take 1 ounce twice a day and a little bit of orange juice each time, and that should immediately make him start sleeping through the night and also feel quite a bit better. So if you need a foot in the door product to kind of develop a dramatic result and give you the opportunity to enroll him in more stuff, I would start with the Beyond Osteo FX. And also remember, man, it's always best to let the doctor do the talking. It's not because there's anything special about us really, but just that's the way people are wired. Especially family members, and I wish it wasn't so.
Yeah, well, he's not getting any better. He's getting worse. So, despite all this meds, I think he's ready for something.
Well, okay, then that's how. Then maybe you can roll him in the whole boat, and that's always a better thing to do because everything's connected in the human body, and everybody needs the 90 essential nutrients to begin with. So the Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, 1 of those, 1 plant-derived minerals, 2 selenium, and 1 bottle of Sweeties per 100 pounds of body weight per month is a really good place to start, Don. That's where I would begin. I appreciate you very much. James in Virginia is up next. We've got a couple minutes left in this segment. Hey, James, thanks for the call. You are live.
Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it. I called you one time before, but I got some more information to kind of dig in a little deeper. But I really do appreciate, first, your your insider webinars. I tell you, it's I'm not sure if it's a good thing for me to get that much educated, because now if I were a dog, I think I'd probably have to go see all the doctors I could find, and I wouldn't bite them, but I'd get up in their face and I sure would be barking up a storm. But anyway, that's it's kind of frustrating because you really want to say something, but you can't. You know, I really want to say to them, I feel sorry for you, but, you know, you just don't know. If you only knew, you know. Anyway.
Well, give it a try once and see what happens. I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained. We don't have to be militant about it. We don't have to be knuckleheads, we can just be, you know, polite and state our case, and that's never a bad idea.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Anyway, my wife has had hypopituitarism. I can't even say that word very well, but for a few years now, and they've had her on levothyroxine and hydrocortisone.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I know that's exactly what they do, and that's a bad idea. And stick around. We're up against a hard break, James.
Okay.
I'll bring you first up when we come back, and I'll answer your question. I appreciate your patience and your trust very much. Ladies and gentlemen, drglidden.com, that's where you want to go. Check it out. We fixed it. Ladies and gentlemen, where there is a will, there is a way. The technical problems that we have with the video stream are ironed out now. So check it out, drgliddenshow.tv. I appreciate your patience. Let's go back to James in Virginia and see if we can't finish this question. Oh, hold on just a sec. All right, James, you were saying?
Yes. Well, you know, I can't say the doctor is all that bad as far as my wife is. It's just sometime before I knew her, but they did save her life because nobody could figure out what was going on. And one specialist, endocrinologist, I guess, figured out, at least as far as I know, what the problem was. And once he started giving her the stuff, then that did bring her back. So, you know, you can't totally fault them for that. But obviously I know the treatment they're giving her is not the right thing because there's a natural way. But anyway, so she gets a 6-month checkup, then they just took some blood a few days ago and got the results back yesterday, so that's what I was curious about. But the blood work came back. They said that, I think this is unrelated, but this is something else. The liver enzymes were high, whatever that means. But in addition, she said her potassium blood level was low, so they wanted to give her a prescription for potassium, but I think I told her, I said, listen, we're not going to get that. We're going to figure out something else because that's just one item, and who knows if he's going to get absorbed and all that. Now, only thing is, we've been taking Healthy Start Guide for a couple of months, but not totally faithfully, her less than me, but haven't got totally gluten-free yet. She makes some wonderful white bread. It's hard to turn down. He puts some hot butter on it, but anyway. Along with that, one more thing. Occasionally she belches, not necessarily right after a meal, but just any time. Just a belch will come out, or a burp, or whatever you want to call it. And then also, sometimes she itches, but her skin is in wonderful condition. There's nothing on the surface to indicate any reason for an itch. Perfectly smooth, nice skin. But it seems to be, especially when she gets in the bed, she'll just start itching her back, and I'm sure that's related to the drug she's taking.
All right. Well, yeah, I would agree. So, you know, we need some intervention here, and just to be clear, right? You know, the wheelhouse of the MD is trauma care. I mean, that's what they're good for. You're dying, they can bring you back to life, and that's great. And we're always big fans of that, big supporters of that. Yeah. Remember, it's not the gun, it's how it's used, right? It's not the drug, it's how it's used. So from our point of view, chronic problems with the pituitary are directly linked to the adrenal glands and the thyroid glands, so we need comprehensive endocrine support. The recommendation here would be a diet that's high in cholesterol. She needs to eat a diet that's high in cholesterol. And how much does she weigh, James?
105 pounds.
All right, that's easy then. Every month she needs one Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, one Healthy Body Start 2.0 liquid, 2 selenium, one immortalium,
Okay.
And one ultimate daily cap.
Daily, okay.
Yeah, and I would also give one plant-derived minerals if I didn't already say that. She needs one plant-derived minerals as well. But
So
look, here's the deal, man.
The minerals in addition to the minerals
Yes.
that are already in the BTT?
Yes, that's correct,
Okay.
especially when we're dealing with this type of a situation.
Okay.
I would find a good chiropractor, and I would have the chiropractor check her head and her neck, because the skull bones need to be correct. If the skull bones aren't locked up correctly and placed correctly, the skull is like a big jigsaw puzzle. So you need to find a chiropractor who's versed in a type of treatment called craniosacral treatment. C-R-A-N like Nancy, I-O, sacral, S-A-C-R-A-L.
That's where the bunch of nerves come up through a collar-like thing on the inside of the neck.
Yeah. So you wanna find a craniosacral therapist who can assess her skull, the integrity of her skull and her neck, because if the curve in her neck is not correct, that's going to have a direct negative impact on her thyroid, which is then going to have a ripple effect on everything else. So we do the medical nutrition and the physical medicine, and for goodness sake, James, just stop the 10 bad foods. No more beating around the bush. You need to stop that stuff, man. Stick around, folks. Hour 2 is coming up. I'm Dr. Glidden, and this is the Dr. Glidden Show. Check out the live video stream, drgliddenshow.tv.